episode 53 of Shack Together. Today is all about Split Fiction, an Atomfall preview, and both of those are coming from TJ Denzer, our special guest. Our game today is all about publisher rankings. Metacritic just put out their list of the top publishers of 2024, so we play a little game involving that. Some great stories this week. Previews for FUMES, The Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies, Warframe Techrot, and Curiosity. We've got reviews for Split Fiction, of course, WWE 2K25, Slime Heroes, Nights in Tight Spaces, and Carmen Sandiego. That's a throwback. In news, we cover Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, finally announced and coming this July. We've got the latest from Neil Druckmann on the status of The Last of Us 3, the announcement of Absolum from Dotemu, and download and sales numbers for Monster Hunter Wilds and Pokemon TCG Pocket. We've got industry news about the Discord IPO potential, the return of Acclaim and Digg, what year is it, and new studios from Visions of Mana co-director. All that and more on today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's kick it off. Here we go.
Okay, I get these fucking emails all the time. Like, I don't know how to stop it, but I get emails and I'm being noticed. I'm being searched for. My profile's being viewed. And someone messaged me. I guess you could, there's like a whole DM thing over there that you could talk to people on. So I see this person from my past who's messaging me. And I'm like, I kind of want to talk to this person. But, like, I don't want like, it was just like, do I want to go to LinkedIn to try to do this? So I do. And I met with this, like, the first screen when I logged in. It's a picture, it's my Briefcase Man logo or whatever. And it says #hiring underneath it. And it says, "Hi, Asif, are you hiring?" It's just, it's not even my profile. It's just this call to action. Yes, I'm hiring. No, not right now. And I'm just like, and I was like, how do I move away from this? So I click on the notifications tab. What the fuck is going on LinkedIn? What are these? There's like 15 different styles of notifications. It's like, this person noticed you. This person's searching for you. Your profile's been viewed this many times. You showed up in this many searches. I'm like, how do I find the messages? Like, where are they?
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
So, like, I didn't even make it. Like after the "Are you hiring?" jump scare, which, John, I don't know, have you been served that screen? Because I'm like, no, never.
I have. Yeah.
I made the mistake one time. We put I think it was 2017, I put up an article on Shack News saying we were hiring. I got emails from that article for like 8 years.
That's funny.
Which means I guess I'm still getting emails, I guess is the point. Anyway, I was just like, oh my God, I never want to go back there. Like, the feed, I saw the feed, and it was just like, all these, oh my God. What the? Anyway.
Yeah, LinkedIn influencers is what you saw.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
I never use LinkedIn for anything, and occasionally I'll just randomly get email. The only thing I use it for is like sourcing news posts when there's somebody on there that makes it an interesting post.
Sometimes change of career, like in game dev, you'll find out about it on LinkedIn, for sure. There's like reasons that we have to go there for work, and like there's reasons that an executive might have to use it for networking purposes, but my God, it's so bad.
Every once in a while, they just send me an email that says, "TJ, you are on a roll on LinkedIn," and I'm just like, I never use it for anything other than to look at posts.
If you believe your inbox, all of us, this whole podcast, we are LinkedIn superstars. Like, I've never, I don't know when the last time I even posted to the platform was, but it's just like, oh my God, terrifying. And then I saw I think I found the place that you go to see the messages, but like, so much spam. Like, every kind of grift possible is going on in the DMs in LinkedIn. It's like, I know Twitter sucks, but my God, LinkedIn also sucks. Holy shit.
For sure.
So anyway, 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would not LinkedIn again. But, I feel bad. If you're listening out there, the person who messaged me, like, I tried, but that platform scared me too much. So, that instant when you open it, though, the "Are you hiring?" jump scare? No. Please, no. Who thought that was a good idea?
Satya.
Yeah, exactly. Was this better before Microsoft? It couldn't have been.
No. No, I don't think so.
It was never good.
I think it was like there's a naivete that LinkedIn is unlike other social platforms, but no.
Oh no,
it's the same.
I knew what I was. I have an account. I think I made it back like in the early 2000s.
Years ago, yeah, sure.
Like I was like looking for jobs, and like it was a good. I get that, but man, when you're on the other side and you're the person paying people, that's like the worst platform. Oh my god, no! I'm feeling anxiety just thinking about the app again. It's also just horribly designed, Joe. Like I can't think of a worse design for an app. It's confusing. It's hard to find what you're looking for. Does it even have search or trends? I don't know. And then, I have a couple of friends from my past who have become LinkedIn influencers.
Oh.
Like one is this guy he does these videos about like, here's how you do your resume, bros. And then the other guy is just like, he's always, so, like, and look, like if you're like a service business and you need to be like promoting what you do, like I know a guy who kind of does, you remember, Freddie George, John, those guys that we worked with on the booths at E3?
Yeah, FPG, yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends kind of does the same thing, but for like video production, like live stream and like a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
So he's on there and he's always promoting his clients and what they're doing and stuff. And I'm just like,
well, we do that too. I mean, like in our,
sure,
like I do that, but it's just, I think I said we have to like not do that as much anymore. Just because it's like, it's very noisy and it just feels, we don't have to. Like, let's stop.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway.
But like, the guy won an award, so I wasn't mad at him for showing off his award. I was like, that's cool.
That's the thing. That's the balance between like, being a pick-me or being, super egotistical versus being proud of good work. So be proud for sure.
Yeah, they've been doing this for like 20 years or 15 years, basically since he graduated from college. And they went from like literally being like a one shop for buying like camera supplies and stuff to like supplying Deadliest Catch production and like all these awesome shows and things. So it was funny to see that. So I had this like one glimpse where I was like, hey, I know that guy. I'm friends with him. And then it was like
funny 5
ads in a row, like some stupid meme about like locking in. I'm just like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yikes.
Anyway. I would not recommend anyone go on LinkedIn, but I'm sure now that I've been there, like I'm even on more of a roll, and I don't know, guys, just email me. Like email works. Like that's a good way of contacting me, or phone calls, or I don't know. And I know my name isn't on Twitter, so you're not going to search for Asif Khan and find me on Twitter. At least, hopefully, you won't. But yeah. And like I don't use Facebook personally, but
LinkedIn is like an online virtual version of that Family Guy episode with the lady that like waited for Peter Griffin to come back. Like, I haven't washed my hands since you left. Please stay.
does feel like that, man. But yeah. Anyway. It's Shack Together in America on the internet. If this is your first time joining us, Shack Together is a Shack News video game podcast featuring myself, your host, Asif Khan, co-host John Benjamin.
Hello.
Our producer, Joe Stasio.
Hello.
And senior news editor at Shack News, which seems like an important position, TJ Denzer.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, TJ?
Doing pretty good. We've had a hectic couple of weeks of content, but it's all paying off and working out well.
It's like
to see
you're either reviewing something or you're traveling somewhere to preview something. You're all over the place.
Yep. And in fact,
awesome.
In these last 2 weeks, I did a little of both.
So yeah, let's get into it. What have you been playing lately?
I dipped my toes into 2 massive games outside of my work that I probably shouldn't have started at the exact same time, but here we go. Monster Hunter Wilds, which I was always going to pick up from day one because that is like, I love that series so much, and I'm so happy that we have a new one. Like, I'm going to play that game all the way to the end and get the best equipment and make the best gun lances that you've ever seen. But and then I also started Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh my god. So you're just like, I need 200-hour games.
Like,
chill out
Sam
with.
really talked that game up. Like, and like everything about it that I've seen online looks fantastic. And so I decided to jump in and see what it was about. That world is beautiful. That might be the most beautiful open world I've seen in a long time.
It is. It's stunning. It also has very solid horse gameplay, I have to say.
Yeah,
we love that.
Someone who's been paying attention to the horse gameplay across genres this year. Kingdom Come kind of sticks out for sure.
And the characters are kind of hammy in the dialogue, but unlike Dragon Age, it felt more natural and charming and enjoyable. And I'm like, God, where was this for my entire Veilguard playthrough? I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I've only dipped my toes into like the first 4 hours of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I feel like I'm going to play that one out for the long haul. It's very fun.
Are you playing that on PlayStation?
Yes.
Cool. PlayStation 5, obviously.
So those are outside of work in my spare time, but inside of work, I reviewed Split Fiction, which is the newest co-op jam from Hazelight Studios.
From the creative director, Joseph Ferris.
Yep. These guys made It Takes Two, A Way Out. Did they make Brothers?
Yes.
It wasn't Hazelight at the time, but the same group of people made Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they formed Hazelight after the success of Brothers.
So this is another co-op romp. This time around, we get like two writers. One of them is like an introvert that does sci-fi and lives in the city, and the other is like a country girl who writes fantasy fiction and is an extreme extrovert. And so it's kind of like, the unlikely duo, they'll never get along. But like, you go on and like one of you plays one and one of you plays the other. And the premise is that they, alongside a whole bunch of other writers, are brought to this high-tech corporation where they want to invite them to take part in this machine that will like put them in a virtual reality world of their story ideas and record their interactions as they go through it. And then they want to package that up and sell it as content. So one of them the introvert wants to back out immediately, and they try to force her to go through with it, and she ends up like falling into the simulation with the fantasy fiction writer, and they end up having to like go through broken varieties of their own story ideas. Like, and the first one, and like one of them are just playing as two space outlaws that are just in the middle of a full-scale war between like spaceships. And you're like trying to navigate this cruiser as the world is exploding around you and platform through it. And then later on, you end up going into this like fantasy fiction village that's under attack by a whole bunch of trolls and ogres. And you just have to outrun them and run for your life and try to get to, like the point being that like the way that they get out of these stories is they have to find a glitch at the end of the narrative that takes them out of that story and closer to what they hope is escape. So like this game is fun as hell. Like I don't think it evolves a lot from It Takes Two, the way It Takes Two came from A Way Out, but it does all the things that It Takes Two did well and like elevates them to like a cool setting, like a variety of cool settings. Characters that I like Zoe and Mio. They're fun too. Their banter is really fun as like a person that's like super quiet and reserved and to themselves, and compared to a person that is like super open and kind of bubbly. And their dynamic is interesting and fun. Like the clashes they have, the agreements they have, it feels natural as you go through this weird story of stories. And the environments are freaking awesome. Like the way that they set up the sci-fi worlds and the fantasy worlds, they're so starkly different from each other. And even the stories that like you play through, like one fantasy story is far different from another fantasy story in that game. Where like I didn't even write about this in my review, but like there's a section where they both get transformed into pigs. And have to like travel through like a weird sort of living garden world. And one of the pigs has the power to like stretch itself into a slinky form and then bounce upward.
Yep.
And the other pig has the power to fart rainbows and glide across open spaces.
I did see that on social. Yeah. No, I was going to say just about this studio, but specifically It Takes Two in this game. This is the kind of game that will introduce a gameplay mechanic and you're only going to use it for like 15 minutes and then you never see it again. But because it does that, it feels fresh as you play it. And like, I want to contrast it to, like, I feel like Astrobot tried to do that, but I think that what you're talking about, the environment, like the set design in this game, it informs the gameplay design, I think, at times. And it's just cool. It feels very, he comes from film, Joseph Fares, right? And so many of his games still feel cinematic. Like, you're like, wow, what a set piece. Like, when you enter, like, a new area and, like, you look around and it's like, holy crap. I felt that way in It Takes Two, and everything that all the gameplay we've seen from Split Fiction and just, like you said, the set pieces that they have. This game's stunning. Like, it's going to be on our best graphics of the year. Probably best art style categories at the Shack News Awards.
And for being so cinematic, the gameplay is still very competent and very fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's at its core a platformer. You have a jump button, you have a double jump, you have a ground and air dash, you have a button that will like whip you onto certain things when like swing points and ledges. And then like out of those core platforming basics, they add and take away different mechanics as you go through these different worlds. So like there's one where you're cyber ninjas and Zoe has like a gravity whip that she can pull objects to her and then throw them. And then Mio has a sword that she can use to teleport onto different surfaces, and then that becomes her point of gravity, where like she's standing on the side of a truck and like jumps across the sides of different trucks. It's really interesting the way that they like create different mechanics for the set pieces in this game.
Yeah. So you gave it a 9 out of 10. Means you probably like it quite a bit. I saw a news story that this is the first EA published game to get a Metacritic score above 90 in like 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I believe the last one to do it was Mass Effect 3, which
I'm surprised at that because It Takes Two was pretty dang good.
Yeah. I feel like it didn't land with everyone who reviewed it. And I think you mentioned it in your review too. The only negative I have about this game is like you have to play it with someone. You can't play this by yourself.
Yep. It's not even an option. Like, and that means that, and they try to meet people halfway with the Friends Pass thing, which if you don't know, if one person buys a copy of the game, they can give a Friends Pass to another person who can then download the game and play for free with that person who bought the copy. So you're only having to buy one copy for two people, but it's still kind of a shame that there's just no option at all to run this solo.
Now, I bet Masahiro Sakurai could do it. Have you seen that guy play 2 controllers by himself?
I thought about trying to do that. Like, I actually thought about channeling Mr. Sakurai and just for to record some parts, and it was too daunting. I can't wrap my mind around playing 2 characters.
I still don't know how he's able to like do smash combos like that. But
I know, right?
Yeah, it's something I thought of when I saw that requirement. That's like the only negative I think about this game really is that if you're a single player, you're kind of out of luck. But you could always find someone to play with.
I pointed it out as one other thing that like made it difficult at times. The sci-fi side of this game is always intense and fast-paced and angry. It's and it's not like the fantasy side doesn't get intense, but it felt like much more puzzle solving and much more chill on that side. To the point where like my partner Sam played this with me during review, and he enjoyed the setting of the cyberpunk side, but it always like stressed him the hell out when we were playing through this.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good with their 3D puzzles and like their environmental puzzles, right? So there's like, yeah, I'm curious. I don't know when I'm gonna make time to play this, but it looks really good, and it's obviously gonna. I think it's cool to see. Like I know I mentioned it as a negative, but it's still cool to see like a game designed with co-op in mind from the jump. instead of shoehorning it in. I think it's cool. And also, like, I guess I come from that old era of split screen games, and it's just like we lost split screen in Halo. Like, they got rid of it. And I always felt like that was one of the best parts of it, was like being able to play co-op Halo on the same screen with people.
The best.
You know? And I think this game, like, it harkens back to the old days, but then at the same time, it's like very cutting edge. Yeah. I think that's just a cool thing to see. This is a game I think we're going to be talking about at the end of the year for sure, though. And It Takes Two won Game of the Year at the Jeff Awards, so this would be the second bang. I mean, they've really made some great games, Hazelight.
Yeah, they have.
And congratulations to them. Cool. So you also played some Atomfall. This is the trip you took, right?
Yes, I went to London for this one. This was Rebellion, who are the makers of the Sniper Elite series. They've got a new IP coming up. It's Atomfall, which is a post-apocalyptic action survival game set in the UK. So for, like, just a little bit of backstory here. People have been asking for, like, a UK post-apocalypse game for quite a while. It's a very unexplored space as far as games go, outside of things like Zombie U, which is one of the very few I can think of that actually focuses on the UK.
I had no idea that took place in the UK, but I believe you. I just had no idea it took place there.
How could you not know that? On the front of the box is a dude with one of those big fluffy hats.
That's right. That's right.
I couldn't draw a picture of the Zombie U box if you paid me, but
wow.
I played it. I love the asymmetric gameplay in that game, but
yeah,
sorry.
But that desire is like that's what spurred that giant mod for Fallout London. But Rebellion decided they're going to make their own post-apocalypse UK game. This one is set in after the Windscale incident, which is one of the worst nuclear incidents in history. It takes place in an alternate universe where that incident was much worse than in, like, obviously reality. But you play the role of a survivor in, like, the quarantine zone in this place, and your goal is to just kind of figure out what happened to you and what happened with the incident and unravel sort of some mysteries in that. So we got dumped into this, for the gameplay session we had, we got dumped into this, like, forest environment where there was a really murderous druid cult, like doomsday cult, wandering around. And our goal was to find this lady on the other side of the forest who, like, basically ads and papers around the world told us that she'll help us if we can get to her. So you want, like, it's a first-person game, first off. You have melee weapons and you have ranged weapons. But outside of giving you the goal to get to this lady, you're basically sent off to go do whatever you want. It very much had vibes of, like, the Sniper Elite sandbox style, where, like, you have an objective, get there however you feel like getting there. And to that end, we had to stealth our way around, like, cultist camps, make our way through woods that had, like, different creatures in them. I ended up running into this purple blob on a tree that turned out to be a nuclear hornet's nest, and they all came flying out and swarmed me, and I had to run for my life. But I also saw that if I was at a distance, I could shoot the hornet's nest, and then they would fly around right outside of where it got destroyed, which makes me think you could probably use it to attack other people.
Wait, you could use the hornet's nest to attack? Okay, I like that.
Yeah. There was a lot of gathering, like you find different things like cloth and bandages and glass and stuff like that, and you can craft different things like healing bandages for yourself, nail bombs, Molotov cocktails, a lot of different things that will help you kill and survive. And the combat was, like, tough. If you get into a fight with, like, more than one person in that game and you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to, like, keep yourself safe and survive. I had probably, like, 4 or 5 times at the beginning of my preview session where I was just trying to get my feet up under me and kept getting beaten down by groups of cultists. So it's one of those games, like Sniper Elite, where, like, biting off more than you can chew is a bad idea, and should focus more on just, like, getting the equipment you need and trying to stay out of sight if you can. There was a lot of different things that you could do with the world and compare it like alongside the main quest, which was finding that lady. And after you find that lady, she like tells you that the cultists stole her book and they're holed up in a castle on the other side of the map from where you just came. So you have to like go into a medieval castle that's like all ruined and irradiated to try to find this book for her. And along the way, like I ended up running into like different clues for different side quests, and other players that were at that same event told me about things that I never discovered in my session. So it feels like it's going to be a very exploratory multi-playthrough thing where like you might not see everything in the first go, but like there's a lot to see in that game, and it's very dense as far as you explore and like check out everything around the area. We didn't get incredibly long with it, but it did seem like a very cool game from what I've seen. It's very different from Fallout in that you don't have like an RPG leveling system. You literally just build equipment as you go and find books that will give you skills.
Okay,
but
cool.
Outside of that, it feels like a Rebellion sandbox strapped to a Fallout game, and I really liked what I saw so far.
Is it wrong to say that it kind of sounds like Stalker?
It's not wrong to say it sounds like Stalker. In fact, it probably has more in common with Stalker than with Fallout, just because of like you don't level up or anything. But
that's why I mentioned it. Like the way that the weapons are being leveled up kind of feels more like Stalker than like a Fallout game, and also just not being as RPG focused. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks to Rebellion for flying you out there.
Absolutely.
That's dope. And yeah, you're out there hunting monsters. Cool. John, do you want to talk about what you've been playing lately?
I think I do, although I do want to check out Split Fiction. That sounds pretty awesome. I didn't play It Takes Two, but I heard like how good that was. And do you? By the way, one question I had was: do you think there's no continuity between the two games, but does it help to have played the first one, or no? You just hop into this one.
You can just hop into this one. It's completely separate from It Takes Two.
Figured, but just even from a gameplay perspective, and is it like better co-op? I mean, is it like
you can only play co-op.
You can only play co-op. Is that right? So you have to. Okay, so
you have to make Jill play with you.
Yeah,
she's gonna be like, nope.
Actually, yeah, the girls are actually pretty good gamers.
Actually, yeah, your daughters might dig it too, because you got two female protagonists in this, and it is like a story about young women.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good. I think Charlotte would really like it too.
It's visually stunning too. So
it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm still playing like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I'm actually liking it more than I thought I would, frankly. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be very side questy or, you know, like it's like a side story. You know, I don't know if it's going to develop, you know, story-wise as I go on. I'm probably like 2/3 through. So I'm not seeing much of an arc. So I'm curious about how it ends, but I like the world. You know, I think it's interesting. The combat's growing on me. Mm-hmm. You know, the more that you unlock different abilities, it's definitely growing on me. I thought it was a little shallow at first, but no, there's some cool little strategy involved. And it's just a love letter to Sega. That's how I'm starting to see. You know, this game in particular just seems like a very Sega love story. I'm not sure why I'm seeing that in this game versus the other ones. I think because side gigs and, you know, the Crazy Taxi style minigame and you know, the Master System and the arcades and all this stuff, it feels like this game is leaning on those things a bit more. So mm-hmm. I think that's maybe a criticism of the main game, that the main game is not as hefty or beefy or maybe as interesting or unique, but you know, it kind of lets the other stuff shine, and I've been really enjoying that. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed later this month. This is the first Assassin's Creed that I'm looking forward to in quite a long time. So I don't know why. Well, no, it's the setting and it's
the characters.
Yeah, it seems interesting.
Yeah, it's actually it's a different story, and this franchise has needed to go to Japan for a real long time. So it's just, yeah, I think the setting and the characters, and also it looks polished.
It looks beautiful.
It actually looks good.
Yeah.
And my God, does Ubisoft need a good game right now?
Yeah, I think this is this. Hopefully, it's a bit of a renaissance. And
I'm like staring at their stock chart every day, though, John, because I'm just like, you know me. I like buying distressed companies that are in the toilet. And Ubisoft stock is trading for $2.80 right now, and it peaked at 25 in the year 2018. So if they have a win, maybe the stock won't go to zero. But also, I just there's a lot of talented people who work over there, and I
mean, that's the main thing. I think we all agree with that. Like, we don't want to see these companies. I mean, I guess some people do, depending on their politics.
They're on Twitter.
On Twitter. But I think most people, especially nowadays, it's like, no, you want to see these companies succeed, and these are storied franchises, and so I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, no, Yakuza is the one that I'm playing and anticipating Assassin's Creed. I did want to check out the new Fortnite season, which is now the current Fortnite season. It's not so novel. I heard it's like Grand Theft Auto in Fortnite.
Season 6, Chapter 2?
I think so. It's
I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
I forget exactly what it's called, but I think they're moving on pretty soon. But if they just said, "Hey, GTA in Fortnite," that feels to me like that's very interesting. But I think we only have a couple more days of that one.
I don't know. Fortnite is everything. At a certain point, there's going to be every single thing possible in that game. Maybe it is going to be like the Oasis or something.
Yeah, it's called Lawless.
Lawless. That's right.
Actually, so it keeps going. It seems like it keeps going through
the whole season.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like this specific chapter.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the whole idea. So we'll see.
The whole T-Pain beef with the dill pickle has been pretty amusing. Like I've enjoyed that. Just like as someone who just casually watches Fortnite videos from afar, like I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, I like seeing T-Pain around. He's a net positive in gaming for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm doing.
Cool. I see a check mark here, Joe. Does that mean you've completed Mother 3?
Mother 3 is in the bag.
Is it a 10 out of 10 for you?
Nice.
No, I'd say a 9.
A 9 from Joe. That's like an 11 at IGN.
Yeah, I think my heart would say 8.5. Like it's a little loses the plot a little bit, but the very end is fantastic, and most of the journey is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think this is at least the third episode I've brought it up, so I don't want to say much, but I will say if Nintendo ever releases this thing, they have my money. You can hold me to that. And I mean,
they already have your credit card information.
Exactly. Just charge it.
Just charge it.
Well, my
if
point
I woke
is
up and I didn't actually buy Mother 3, but there's a receipt for it and it's in my library, I wouldn't be mad.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like that as a precedent for something. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, we don't want a whole U2 album situation on iTunes again.
Exactly.
We don't want that ever.
Right.
We never asked for that.
But short of that, Mother 3 just is worth money, is all I think we're saying.
Mm-hmm. And I want that weird Nintendo back. Like, that is such a good version of weird Nintendo that I want that back.
It's so weird. It's so adult. And it's funny because it's about like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Or rather you play like a 6-year-old. And, but it is such an adult. It's so means for you to be an adult while you're playing it.
Mm-hmm.
To really get the most out of it. I don't mean that it's, raunchy or anything. I just mean what they're trying to invoke, especially at the end. It's like that just requires emotional intelligence and some level of maturity and I think some age to appreciate it. It's not that you need to be smart so much as you need to have gone through some parts of life, some certain milestones in like the trajectory of how most of our lives go with, relationships, familiar relationships, friend relationships. It's just as a 15-year-old with a GBA in your pocket, I don't know how some of these beats would land. So I just found that stuff, especially, that's kind of what's sticking with me now, like a week out of finishing it. That there was such a rich emotional, I wouldn't say plot, but just what they were evoking with
undertone
with the plot. Yeah, right, exactly, the vibe of it. And I think that I think when people laud this game after they've played it and all of the flowers that this game tends to get, it can sometimes feel like, well, people are just shouting Mother 3 because it hasn't been localized, and it's easy to feel that way. I kind of felt that way. And I just wanted to see, like, what is all this fuss about? And it's like, coming out of it, you could see, like, wow, this really is just like a total Nintendo anomaly. It's so strange, again, not just because of like the trippy stuff, the trippy imagery, and like you're fighting, you're fighting like a band at one point,
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's that, like, again, if this game is for a kid, it's just, if it's explicitly for a kid, they failed. It's just kind of, especially coming out, 20 plus years ago when games for adults were less of a market too. So anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but you can hear the enthusiasm, and I definitely would encourage anyone to try it. I think it's remarkable.
So you're like, okay, you wiped your hands clean. You're like, I'm going to go to one of the hottest free-to-play games on the planet, XDefiant.
Yeah, that's right. The friend group got tired of the finals.
Okay.
I think I'm the most tired of it. I don't want to blame the other guys, but
I heard they're getting deathmatch in that game, though, or team deathmatch.
Oh, see, I would like that. But then the game, it would have to make the finals have to make some changes for that to be good. Because
I think it would need.
You don't even have
levels.
A second gun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's no alternate weapon. There's no Y button. Like it's a very confident, alternative. Like, it's just it made changes, right? Whereas XDefiant is like another one of those, but it's so stupid and fun. And,
I mean, it's an exclusive club at this point. Like, you can't get in if you haven't downloaded it. So
that's right.
It's like going to Studio 54 before it closed. Like you're just that's hilarious. Though. I saw that on your list and I was just like, damn. And then breaking news here: PC shopping.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, but it's just light shopping. I
in this economy.
I spoke to friend of the show, Jan. Jan gave me some pointers. Thanks to Bill for hooking that up. Mm-hmm. He gave me some pointers. He gave me some suggestions. He gave me a modest price range in this economy. Yes. And, I'm getting closer, and it has a lot to do with the AMD releases that, we're maybe getting back to a world thanks to AMD and Intel, frankly, where like you can get a card and it's not, I don't have to like sweat when I hit checkout. Like they're kind of reasonable and they're good enough. And this NVIDIA stuff is insane. It's just, I can't wrap my mind around it. Like
the secondary market for the 50 series right now is absurd. Like $5,000. Like just absurd prices, John. Scalpers bought all of them up. It's the same story, right?
Yeah.
Scalpers bought them all up. They're flipping them for like 100%, 200% profit.
There's a second layer though, right? I think there's a second layer to the problem. Mm-hmm. And it's like they're not stellar. Like this new generation is like
they have defects. They're shipping with defects that actually make those benchmarks that they showed at the announcement event incorrect. So it's like if you're overstating your performance by 5 or 10% and you were only outperforming last generation by 11%, well, that's like half or almost all of the benefit to this $2,000 card is being wiped away because they shipped defective products. And they also and we talked about it last week. Gaming is 10% of their revenue now. I don't think they care.
Right.
Like, I just don't think they care.
But here's devil's advocate. And like a lot of that like non-gaming performance that they power comes from these cards anyway, though.
The underlying tech. Absolutely.
Right.
Blackwell is at the core of everything that they're doing right now.
So like they can't totally not care, you know?
No, it's that they saw these companies are really smart, man. They have these very good testing facilities for chips as they go off the line at Taiwan Semi or wherever. They know exactly how many defects are in chips before they're even shipped to America or wherever. So it's like, have you guys seen Kids in the Hall Brain Candy? It's a really old movie.
We did. I did. Yeah.
You remember that, John? And
I don't know if I remember too much, but yeah.
There was that scene where like the one guy he's like an actuary who he calculated the risk of flipper babies, and he was like, it was only a couple of flipper babies. That's where we're at with NVIDIA, is they're like, okay, it's only a couple. And it's like, how much are we going to have to pay in this inevitable class action lawsuit or whatever? It's like, oh, $20 million. We're going to make $43 billion next quarter in revenue. So it's not a big deal. I think that's the attitude I'm talking about, Joe, is that it's no longer, oh, we have to be the preeminent gaming brand. They don't care. Like, they just don't. And they're also far ahead of AMD when it comes to performance. Like the top line AMD card that shipped or got announced last week, I think it competes with the 5070 Ti.
The Ti, yeah, right, which is 2 below the flagship.
Exactly. So it's like, that's not the $2,000 card, but it is still cost competitive with the 5070 Ti. I think it's like $50 less or $100 less.
That and also that you can probably get it. And that's what
that's actually in stock. Yeah.
And not to mention, I think I have no idea, but I would assume that level is the most popular, right? That's sort of like the prosumer card.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to say. It depends on the year. I went into this thinking, okay, because I'm rocking a 2080 Ti still, guys, on my computer, and it's chugging with most things. But last year I said, screw this. I'm buying a Mac before these tariffs hit. So I have this like ridiculously powerful Mac that really can't play many games. So I'm in a situation right now where I'm like, do I just start playing games on my PS5 instead? Because, like, TJ, you're playing Wilds on PS5, right?
Yep.
And it runs great?
On the PS5 Pro, I have it set at 40 frames per second cap.
Goddamn.
And I haven't seen any issue with, like, glitching or pop-ins or any performance issues since I've been playing.
Yeah, I've had to do a dance of 1,000 config changes to get it to run on my 2080, but it works. And I'm enjoying it. The other problem, like, this is just, I think, a problem I'm going to be facing between now and whenever Switch 2 launches. I'm like, yeah, I could buy it on PS5, or I could just wait for it to come out on Switch 2. So it's like, because then I have it portable, not just on a console.
Yep.
So that's the value proposition. Anyway, I'm excited to hear more about your PC build. So are you going to build it? Like, are you going to buy the case, the motherboard, all that stuff?
I think so. Yeah, because I'm in no rush. It's it's a little bit of a light passion project. So
it's like, it's one of those things when you're building a PC that you can kind of graze, right? You're like, okay, I know I want this motherboard. I know I want this GPU. I know I want these fans. And then you just kind of wait for things to go on sale.
Exactly. That's exactly it too. So then I'm able to, again, in this economy, grab a part every so often. So
yeah.
What are you playing, Asif?
Oh, I am not building a PC, but I am envious of you. I'm always excited when someone else is getting a new PC. It's an exciting time for every household.
Wow, thanks. My wife is so excited.
I'm sure your wife's going to be stoked. I don't know. Your kids are probably going to play Bubbletron on it at some point.
They probably will. That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's the argument every dad should use when building a new computer. It's for the family.
It's for the family. Right?
It's the Walter White excuse. Except without the meth. Anyway, I mentioned it already. I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds. I made my Palico Pikachu. Just very bright yellow Pikachu. First thing I did was I shut off the human voice for the Palicos. Holy crap, are they annoying. So now the little kitty cats, they just meow now. And that's...
Now I heard a lot of conjecture about the English voices for the Palicos, and then someone rightfully pointed out, and I just don't want us to seem insensitive, someone rightfully pointed out it is an accessibility feature.
No, I have no problem with that. If you want to play it...
I heard them too, and I had the same reaction, just to be clear.
Look, they all sound like Orko from He-Man.
But my point is, they could have sounded like anything. Like, my point is not, oh, I hate that blind people can hear. It's like, no, like, that's great. These are fucking annoying voices. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, oh my God. Like, we have this fishing video up on YouTube, and I think we put it on social too. And it's just like the palico's behind Sam, just cheering him on every time he catches a fish. And I'm like, I'm going to blow my brains out if I have to hear this for 400 hours. So, literally, first thing I did was change the voice to just kitty cat meow. I have to say, though, you brought up accessibility settings. Vast accessibility settings in this game. All over the place. And those best practices, too, where, like, when you start the game, you're in the accessibility menu. You don't have to dance around or hit a button or anything. I hope that, like, that's just the standard now. But, yeah, I think it was great. I spent, like, an hour creating my character in my palico. I did the first hunt. And yeah, I haven't really gotten back to it yet just because I don't have time, but everything I played, and it was running like crap on my PC until I knocked it down to like medium and all sorts of weird resolutions. Because I have an ultra wide monitor and it cannot. Like, my ultra wide's like, I can't run this game with a 2080. I don't even know if it can run it with a 5090 Ti or whatever. But yeah, so God, I hope the Switch 2 Direct happens and they're like, and Monster Hunter Wilds will launch with the system on this day, because then I would definitely buy it on that platform. Then again, who knows how it's going to perform on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you want to hear the game I've been playing more than any other game in the last week?
Mm-hmm.
Retro Slam Tennis. I fucking love this game. Like, oh my God. It is my mobile game of the year right now. It's great. It's like pick up and play, one-handed gameplay. It has a really cool loop. Yes, it has microtransactions, but there are ways to like kind of dance around the microtransactions. Like you can watch an ad instead, or you can, that to me is like the only negative is how they've kind of put up time gates, but you can kind of get around them. But yeah, so I posted a couple of screenshots in our Discord for you guys. This happened last night, and it cut me to my core. It said, there's like this little info guy that shows up from time to time. He said, you are aging and have lost a skill point. I was like, God damn.
Wow.
It's like, that's rude. Like, what? So apparently I'm old and busted now. I've been through, I want to say like, I don't know how many seasons. The seasons go by really quickly.
That's really funny. That's really,
yeah.
I like how do you have an in-game age? Like, do you know how old your guy is?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but like it said, it's all level based. So I'm a level 23, and this is round. So each season is like round. It's 27 rounds. I'm halfway through it. Let me see if I can find position stats, career stats. It says I'm 19, but I think that means I've been playing for 19 years in the game. So I'm like LeBron, right? I'm entering my 20th year. I have over 500,000 followers on this fake social media platform that they have.
Hell yeah.
I was talking to TJ about it. At the end of each tournament or whatever, or like when you get knocked out of the tournament, you have this press conference that has this like meter. And if you hit the button at the wrong time, you lose followers. If you hit it at the right time, you gain more. There's like a whole contacts part of the thing where like you as an individual have to manage your happiness, because if you're not happy, you're going to play poorly. So there's 3 components to managing your happiness: family, friends, and partner. So I've started dating. You can date in Retro Slam Tennis.
Wow.
And the dating gameplay, which I'm like, this is actually pretty accurate for being a single person in 2025. It's a literal slot machine, and it's just hearts and broken hearts. And all you need to like have a successful date is 2 hearts.
Damn.
And it's like, if you don't get the 2 hearts, it takes up a spin. If you get all 3 broken hearts on the slot machine, it's like, here's a free spin. We feel bad for you.
That's funny.
So I don't know. I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend in Retro Slam Tennis. They don't really specify, so I think that's kind of nice. But yeah, I got 3 hearts the other day, so I guess things are getting serious with this person who does not have a name. I do think it's funny that spending time with your family drains your energy. I'm like, that's pretty on the nose. And then I put a screenshot in the Slack of the slot machine, but also my coach right now, his name is Tutu Daphne. I just thought that was pretty funny.
That's good.
It's the way the coaches work is really weird. They have these like, here are these 3 things you need to do, and they're like challenges. And if you don't ever complete those challenges, you never fire your coach. Like, they don't quit on you or anything, but they also don't just leave. You can fire your coach if you want to. But it's just weird. Like, hey, you finally did all those things I wanted you to do, so I'm out. It's like, wait, what? Why are you leaving me right? Like, I finally did the thing you wanted me to do.
Wow.
So I thought it was kind of weird. But I guess tennis players do kind of go through coaches a lot. All athletes do. So it's I guess my point is there's like a whole management part of this game that I think is just it's completely different genre, completely different system, but like it reminds me of NCAA Dynasty mode, where there's video game, there's the football gameplay aspect, but then there's also this whole recruiting and managing your team aspect. It feels like they really took a lot of thought in making this. So like, there's the social component, there's the lifestyle component, there's your friends, family, and loved ones, there's sponsorship deals, there's managing your equipment. I will say that they do put money, the top shoe in the game costs $8.99, like actual money. The top racket in the game costs $1.99. The top shorts in the game cost $8.99, and the top shirt in the game costs $8.99. Now you can get like lesser shirts with in-game currency that you earn. So I'm not like, shaking my fist at that. Because once again, like, it's not just cosmetic. Like, you actually are getting gameplay benefits from paying, but it's not like this is a multiplayer game. So I don't really care if people are playing to win, right? Like, it's just it's a single player game. But I really like it, man. I think it's great. And I
seems like pretty rich. When you look at the screenshot you posted, I would not have thought all those systems are in there.
Yeah, I'll give you. I'm gonna just post a screenshot of the main menu so you can just see like how much stuff is going on in this game. It's really kind of stunning. And I fucking love Retro Bowl. Like I think I played like 41 seasons in Retro Bowl, and that's like 16 games. That's like an actual football season type of game. But it's kind of like this, like TJ, you've been playing this game a little, but like, how it's like certain spots in the game, like here's a key break point, or here's the match point, here's like a tiebreaker moment. Like you're not playing the whole game. So I think it ends up going by quicker as a result.
Yeah, it's and like
there's the
whole spending time with your family and doing things like social media. It affects your happiness. So the higher your happiness is, the less of chance you have of falling behind in key moments of the matches.
Mm-hmm.
So doing all the social stuff and doing all the systems outside of the actual game like keeps you from being put in difficult positions when you're playing the matches.
Yeah, and it's all about getting those NRG drinks, right? So you can, when you're doing the family time or whatever, there's like a wheel that spins and you can land on an energy drink. Same thing with when you're with your friends. And then the thing that I learned to do, TJ, is like sometimes you're just going to be out of energy, and the only way to get back in the game is to rest for a week. So I do like that you could rest for 3 weeks and basically get enough energy to go back to a tournament. But when you rest, you drop on the rankings. And I have not been in the top 8 yet. I finished my last season at 10th, which was heartbreaking because you only get to be in the Grand Slam if you're in the top 8. But you also have to have won a 500 series tournament, which I haven't done yet. So yeah, I'm in my 19th season and I haven't won this game. I'm probably, if my skills continue to deteriorate because of my age, I guess I'll just create another character and start over. But yeah, I am completely infatuated with this game, and it has kicked my Balatro habit. So hallelujah.
Wow.
Look, I love Balatro. Love that game. But it is mean to me, TJ. It's a mean game.
Yeah, that was one of the things that made me... Well, first off, you said that this was made by the same people who made Retro Bowl, which that game is also awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what got me to pick it up in the first place. Also, it's free to start, so like not too much of a problem jumping in and getting your toes wet. the other thing was that Balatro was absolutely shellacking me, and I needed something to take a break from Balatro after a series of very bad runs.
Yeah, like as you move up the stakes in Balatro, it just gets harder and harder, and it's like I'm doing great. I have an awesome build, and I make it all the way to the 8th ante, right, TJ? And it's that 300,000 one. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm screwed. Or I get there, and it's like, no 2 pairs. And I'm like, my whole deck is built around 2 pairs. So it's just been, like, I feel like I've played the game enough where I've gotten to the part where it's just really hard and challenging, and I'm just... It's kind of like where I got to in Breath of the Wild, where I was in the Trial of the Sword, and I'm like, okay, I'm never going to beat this, so I guess I'll walk away. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Balatro, but I am like Retro Slam Tennis is getting all these little things that I think are super important about mobile games right. I can pick it up, play it for a second, pause it, and be on with my, go back to whatever I'm doing. It doesn't require 2 hands. I keep mentioning it, but that soundtrack's outstanding. Like it's just one song, but it's a really good chiptune song. So yeah, I don't know. I love that game. And it has actually been eating into my time playing other games. I did play Super Mario Maker 2. I did it just kind of to check on how my courses are going, or how that latest course is going. So people have been playing, they've been playing Briefcase Ghost House. No one else has beat it, John. You are still the record holder.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing it.
So that New Year's resolution, John, is still intact. I think that was one of yours, right?
I don't know, man. I'm just doing all these resolutions.
A minute 22.7 is John's record.
I really thought, I still think it's 115. Is one. I was expecting 110 by now.
So the clear rate has dropped. It's now 3.96%. That's 12 out of 303. That clear number, here's what's odd, John, and you haven't been playing this. This implies that someone else who does not have the record is playing it, because no one else has cleared it, but the clear number went up. So I can only assume it's Steve, and he's coming for your record.
Hey, man, I look forward to...
I will keep everyone updated as to if John's record does fall, but I don't know, man. I saw where all the X's are, and... I think I might have created another frustrating level that people rage quit out of in the first screen.
Well, that's for sure.
That's kind of my brand. But yeah, course ID, if you want to try it out there at home, YRT59JHVG. That's your alphanumeric code. If you want a challenge. I do want to shout out the final boss level, briefcase level 8, 3 out of 1991 clears, for a percentage of 0.15% clears. So yeah, I salute the one. Let's see how many people have cleared this. Is it just Steve? I think it might be Steve and some guy named F. Asiri. Those are the 2 people who have cleared it. I guess Steve has cleared it twice. But anyway, there's your Mario Maker 2 update. I still haven't beat Ozzy's level. It's very difficult. And then yeah, this will surprise no one. I've been playing F-Zero 99.
What?
I know. It's ridiculous. Let me just tell you a story about a guy who's really trying his best and just keeps fucking dying on the last turn. I already shared a video with you guys in the Discord. That race on Port Town, John, was frustrating.
That's rough.
Because I was in first. I was in first on like the last 3 turns of the entire race, and hit a drone car, spun me into a wall, and I'm dead. And it's just like, it's so hard to stay in first for 3 laps, and then to have that happen to you is just, ugh. God, it's been brutal. So yeah, last night, this sums up how things are going for me. Here are my lucky ranks from last night. These are my first 5 races, right? 87th place. Guess what? I was in first on Big Blue going into the last turn. Or it was Big Blue 2. Second race, 4th place overall. Third race, 95th. Guess what? I was in first place on that race too. It was Deathwind 2. Deathwind inverted. 4th race, 90th overall. Guess what, guys? I was in first place on the 3rd lap. And then my last one was 4. So it's like, I'm either going to be in the top 5, top 10, or in the bottom 10 because I flame out. And it's just, I don't know if it's the rank that I'm at, because I'm at an S11 right now, or actually, sorry, I'm at S10 because I lost my S11 rank last night. It reminds me of when I was at S+. I said that a few weeks ago, but like I just keep bouncing between 2 ranks, and it's like I'm closer to winning when I'm in S10, and then like I just doubt there's many S11s out there, because I will match with like A-class drivers and S50 drivers whenever I'm S11. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah. It's incredibly frustrating. I still love the game though, and it's just part of the meta, right, of any racing game, but especially of an F-Zero game, managing your boost, right? And I showed you in that video, like when you make one mistake, you try to boost out of it to kind of correct it, but then when you do that, you're taking an unexpected boost away from a future part in the level. Like each track really has like a best practice of how to place first, and I've gotten familiar with all of them. So when I do something that's off schedule in a race, I know in the back of my head that I've probably already lost, because that boost management it catches up with you either in the 3rd or the 4th lap. So that's really the challenge that I'm dealing with right now in the game. But I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. It's just like I'm so close to you guys. Like this last week, I'm talking like I could have had 4 wins. Like I was right there. So
you're
I
in
don't
that
know,
zone. That's tough. You're that end of the, you're in that end game, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's like TJ playing Guilty Gear, like in 2025. Like there's a lot of experience, a lot of leveling up, but also the people who are still playing F-Zero every day are very talented. So it's just a lot of competition, but love it. Still playing it. And that's everything I've been playing.
Well, almost.
Oh, that's right. You got a game coming up for us.
I have a game, but we're going to have to take a quick break before we dive in. Here we go.
I'm getting all my draft day references ready.
Oh, God. Welcome one and all to Metacritic's Publisher Draft 2024. I should say Shack Together's Metacritic Publisher Draft 2024. If you weren't aware, we just saw the publisher rankings for last year from Metacritic, first party publishing, and they have a rubric that they like a first party sort of biased rubric that they use to generate this, which we could talk about at the end if you want. It's not really necessarily relevant to what you're going to do. But they have a formula that generates who is the most successful publisher on their platform. There is a criteria to even make the list, so it is not an infinite list for every publisher on Metacritic. You need to qualify, basically. So we have a total of 37 qualifying publishers, which you three will. You will pull from this pool of publishers, and you will try to draft a team of 7. You will try to have the most performant 7 publishers on your squad. If, this is a little behind the curtain, but if the 3 of you will check out the general chat in Discord, I will not make you guess what the publishers are.
Oh, okay, so this is the board.
That's helpful.
I am giving you the qualifying publishers. What you don't know, unless you cheat, is where they rank on this list. And allow me to give you a little bit more detail on how to win this little game. You will try and guess the top ranked publisher, yes, but I will give you an additional chance to earn some extra points if you can tell me whatever your draft pick is, what their top performing game on Metacritic was last year.
Wait, what?
And yes, so if you guess... Let's pick something that's not on the list.
Bubbletron.
Sure. If you picked Bubbletron, no, that would make sense. If you picked Shack News,
yeah, then you would say Bubbletron.
Yes, I would give you the amount of points that Bubbletron is worth on this rank list.
Wow.
And if you pick Shack News, I'd give you those amount of points. Mm-hmm. And if you guess Bubbletron as the top performing game, I'd give you an additional 3 points.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's wild. So is this a snake draft or is this an auction draft? What are we doing here?
This is a snake draft.
Okay.
And
who has the first pick? That's
so important. I need you all to DM me. What is the number I'm thinking of, 1 to 10? Okay. Okay,
Nice.
our order is Asif goes first.
Yeah.
TJ goes second.
Woo.
John, take a guess.
I'm third.
You're third, baby.
But it's a snake draft, so John will have the third and the fourth pick.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Here we go. Remember, you want to pick the highest performing publisher last year and tell me your draft pick's top performing game for an extra 3-point chance. Asif,
Okay.
you're up first.
With the first pick of the Shack Together Metacritic publisher draft, I guess, I don't know, what's my team? Team Divix. We take Sega.
Wow.
Sega published Metaphor Refantasio last year, which was critically acclaimed.
Asif, I am here to grant you 37 points for your answer of Sega. Sega is the top performing publisher on this list, so that is the top slot. And for your correct guess of Metaphor Refantasio as the top performing game, you just netted 40 points. TJ, you're up next.
Well, I'm definitely going with Capcom for my pick. The Denzer camp is picking up Capcom.
Okay.
I was gonna guess what their top performer was last year. I guess Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster.
I'm so sorry. The correct top game was Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
However-
Oh my god, I forgot.
However,
You reviewed that.
Capcom is an
Or
excellent
did you? No, Dama did. Capcom is a great pick.
Capcom is an excellent pick, the second highest performing publisher, so 36 points to TJ.
Come on. I'm gonna die here.
You got 3 and 4 coming up, John. Don't worry.
Yeah, this is good. Oh my gosh.
It does. It gets tough after these next 2 picks, though, John, because like there's still there's some good ones on the board still.
I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
don't know.
I
This is
know
gonna
what
go
you would
poorly.
pick most years that you're probably not picking this year because they didn't have the best 2024. But
No, they didn't. And also, yeah, I'm disappointed Sega's not here. Or, I mean, off the board. That was a
publisher of the year at Shack News,
Yeah,
man. They
yeah,
crushed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They crushed
sure.
it. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio. We got a Sonic, what was it, Shadow? Yeah, lots of great
Yeah,
stuff.
that was very, very good.
Good for Sega.
I mean, I would go. I'm gonna go corny. It's not corny. Okay, hold on. Let me redo that. I'm going to pick. Oh, dang it! I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'll go. Okay, third one. I'll go. I'll go Annapurna.
Okay.
Annapurna.
Yep.
And I will say, thank goodness you're here, Annapurna. It feels like it. Oh no.
I don't know.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
cut
say.
you off. Yep, I can't say. So we are going to give you 28 points for a solid draft pick in Annapurna, who is, let's see, number 9 on this list, I believe. Their top performing game was Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
That's right.
Last year.
Oh.
Trying to see who published Thank Goodness You're Here.
I think that was Devolver, or I thought it was.
It would feel like a Devolver game, I guess.
But wait, like
In the
if
meantime,
Oh yeah, you
Every
know
time,
what? You're
John.
right. We shouldn't be looking at that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help out, but yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna mention Thank Goodness You're Here in any of my stuff. But yeah, you got the fourth pick too, John.
I think it might have been Humble that did that, by the way. But anyway, I won't pick any of those. Let's go Secret Mode.
Secret Mode is going to net you. Well, pick a game first, please.
Well, hold on. Secret Mode. I'm hoping that is the one that I'm thinking of. Oh crap! Wait. No, I didn't mean Secret Mode. Oh no!
I know
It's okay.
what you meant.
You fucking dummy.
Just, I haven't, the board is unmarked. Go ahead. Take your pick.
What am I allowed to?
Yeah,
pick
you
a
can.
different-
You can pick
What's your
something
fourth?
else.
What's your fourth pick?
Okay, I think Gossip knows what I was going for, but
It's not on here.
it's not on here, which I'm.
Yeah.
But maybe
You're
that was
thinking-
a 23 game, I guess.
No, Big Mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking Amwell. No, it's just not on here. It's probably that definition that Joe was talking about that Metacritic uses.
Big Mode did not qualify, and they need to have at least 5 releases in the calendar.
Oh, 5 releases.
And they're only, I think they're averaging 1 per year right now.
I'll go Sony,
Not a bad pick.
and I'll go Astrobot.
That's a great pick.
Well done. 34 points for Sony, an additional 3 for Astrobot, giving you 37 points for that round. Very nicely
Nice.
done.
All
Back
right.
to TJ.
Okay. I am going to go Bandai Namco, and I'm going to guess because it's going to be I imagine it's going to be like splitting hairs between these two that I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna go based on like public perception. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Oh,
11 points to you for Bandai Namco, and 0 additional points, of course, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth.
God, I knew it.
I was gonna say
what?
Tekken 8.
I was like, in the fight between Elden Ring and Dragon Ball, what wins? I would have hoped Dragon Ball actually, but
Can't believe Kuma got left on the sideline like that.
Awesome. 2 picks to you.
I have 2 picks. Oh yeah, I got the 6th and the 7th pick here.
oh man, I really kind of get screwed in the middle here, huh?
Yeah, it's the worst being in the center of a snake draft. It's especially when there's 3 teams. I'm gonna take Microsoft, and I will pick Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
29 points to Asif, 0 additional points.
Oh.
Pentiment released on Nintendo Switch, and that had the highest
What?
rating. Yep.
Wow.
Crazy.
A Pentiment port to Switch? Okay. Okay.
That is crazy.
That's fine.
That's a move.
Indiana Jones did pretty well too, though, I think.
I thought so too. I was going to pick that.
Instead of Sony? Yeah. Okay, so then let's see. I mean, we're talking 7th pick here. Normally a company would already be off the board for me, but I'm leaving it there because I just don't think they had a good year, and it hurts me. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take Electronic Arts here.
Ooh.
And God help me, I'm gonna say that College Football 25 was the highest rated reviewed game for them.
15 points to Asif for his pick of Electronic Arts, 0 additional points. We were looking for the Sims 4 Life and Death expansion.
Okay.
That was on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah. Look, good for the Sims still. Like, that's awesome that they did well.
Yeah, that's a great community too.
Yeah, not mad at that at all, but that's just funny. Anyway.
TJ, you're up.
I'm gonna go with Konami, and it's pretty. It seems pretty reasonable that Silent Hill 2 remake is at the top of the pack there.
Good answer.
With the pick of Konami, Club Denzer receives 13 points, 0 additional points. We were looking for Castlevania Dominus Collection.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and you love that. That's like your shit right there. That is like your jam too, TJ. Damn.
I know. That's
what
shame.
a great year. Like, talk about a company in the midst of a turnaround, man. 5 years ago, they're not on this list. And like Konami's doing really good with licensing their IP, like on Netflix with the Castlevania show, and the Dominus Collection was great.
I think as of the release of this episode, we are getting this Suikoden combo pack, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. And they announced a mobile game too. But yeah, Konami's like, hey, we make video games and we can license our IP. Like what they did with Vampire Survivors last year with Contra and with Castlevania was cool. Like they're doing some cool stuff over there.
I sure are.
That's great.
John, you got 2 picks coming up.
2 picks to you, bud.
Okay. I'll go Nintendo, which is what Asif was referring to. I think you were referring to that, right?
Definitely a rough year for them. They would have been first pick most years.
Yeah. And I'll go with Mario and Luigi Brotherhood.
Nope. Unfortunately,
it was between that and Donkey Kong. But unfortunately, go ahead.
The title is Brothership, but the correct answer was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Wow.
So you will receive 16 points for your pick of Nintendo.
Yeah, Brothership got like really mixed reviews, John. Like some people were like, "This is a 5; it's the worst thing ever," and other people were like, "This is a 9; I love it." So
yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great year.
Shocked that Echoes of Wisdom wasn't the highest reviewed one of those, but I think it missed for some people. I don't know. It's a delightful game. You got another pick.
I'm just gonna go, and I can't. I don't think I can name a game, but I'll try. I could be wrong too in the name of the game. Let's go Devolver Digital. And wasn't that? Oh, I'm getting them. Maybe them and like Humble confused. But I'm thinking like, is that UFO 50 or no? Am I wrong?
Solid pick from John. 25 points to John. Devolver's pretty high up there. No, Talos Principle 2 was their top performer.
That's a great game. Both great franchise.
UFO 50 was Devolver, I thought, though. I could be wrong.
I thought
what a cool game.
I keep forgetting it exists, and I am.
I shouldn't say game. What a cool 50 games.
What a cool games.
Yeah, I like that idea.
TJ, you're up.
I am going to go with. This is going to be another tough one because I feel like I know what the top 2 games are, but I don't know which one of them won. I'm going to go with Square Enix.
Damn it. That's the last one on my board.
I am going to bet it all on Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake being the top performer for them.
Nah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had a fantastic critical outing.
I thought it was more mixed.
No, it got like it was over 90.
Are mixed. Just ask me.
It's over 90 from reviewers.
That's right.
Reviewers don't know nothing.
But as a draft pick, a fantastic choice. 31 points.
Yeah, very good pick
for Square Enix. They are
that one was sitting there, and I was like, I was just hoping TJ would have forgotten.
Well, it's up to you. 2 in a row, Asif.
Yeah, I got 2 picks coming up here. I'm gonna pick Take-Two Interactive and game. WWE 2K24.
26 points to Asif for Take-Two Interactive. 0 additional points. Inexplicably, Red Dead Redemption, which I suppose got ported.
For PC. Yeah, it got released on PC.
There you go.
Right. Or on Switch. Didn't it get ported to Switch also?
I think maybe it is Switch. Let me see.
Anyway.
PC, October 29th, 2024.
I should have been like GTA 5 on my toaster or whatever they're porting it to next.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And then I got one more pick.
Yeah, I got another pick here. Oh, man. We got some deep value picks here. I'm going to pick Digital Eclipse. And I'm going to say the Jeff Minter story.
23 points for Digital Eclipse. 0 additional. Tetris Forever was
it was one. I knew both of those. They're like those interactive documentary style games, which I love. And actually WWE. We'll mention it in the story time. But okay, cool.
TJ.
I'm gonna go with
No, I was just saying, shout out to Digital Eclipse. They had a great year.
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Atari, and specifically because I know that Night Dive is under them now, so I'm gonna go with The Thing Remastered.
7 points for the Atari draft pick.
Damn.
0 additional. Quam 2.
Quam?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. That was the top performer. John. 2 picks.
Okay, this is going to go poorly now.
Yeah, these are the value picks.
Let's go with Humble Games.
Okay.
And because I forget, I'm not exactly sure. Thank goodness you're here. Might have been a Humble Games thing.
You might be right. However, Humble Games, which nets you 6 points.
Yeah. Sorry, Humble Games team.
Their top performer was, of course, coming in late last year, Stray Gods.
The
role-playing musical, Orpheus.
Yeah. That's an interesting game.
It is.
Of course.
So I believe you get one more.
I get one more, don't I? Yow. Oh, dang it. And, okay, so Take-Two is already taken, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just gonna pick. That was a bad pick. 6 points.
It's unfortunate.
That was bad.
I guess they didn't have a lot of releases last year.
Yeah, this was not.
They've kind of slowed down since the IGN acquisition.
This was not it. I'm gonna shout out because I'm trying to figure out very familiar names. I can't remember the games tied to it. So let's go Team 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dredge came out. I mean, I know it came out before, but I thought that it came out on a different platform last year. So I'm hoping that counts Dredge.
12 points for Team 17.
Okay.
Not bad.
Right.
I'm gonna have to disqualify the Dredge bit because it was in fact Dredge's DLC, the Iron Rig, which received top.
Asif, you know what I'm gonna say. Hold on, you know what I'm taking out.
A final 2-minute card.
I am. Hold on. Let me print this out. Yep.
Adam Silver's gonna have an earful.
Hold on. I'm talking to the team here. Yeah, print it out. Yep, Joe.
There it is. Have a stamp ready. It has Joe's name, number, his badge number.
It's printed out. It's going to New York.
Yep.
Had you said the Dredge DLC, of course I would have given it to you.
I should have just said something Dredge, and I'm sure you would have given me points. So go figure. You know,
an ounce of correctness.
Dredgy something. Okay. Something tied to Dredge. Okay.
All right, TJ, Thanks. Your second to last pick.
Not a bad pick. Team 17 had a good year.
I like.
Has Ubisoft been taken off the table yet? I don't think I heard it.
No, it's sitting there. It's a deep value pick.
I'm going with Ubisoft, and it's because of a certain game that I feel like has to have outperformed the others. Has to have, unless I'm wrong. In which case, oh well. It's I'm going to go with Ubisoft and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Bingo bango, 23 points.
Woo!
Well done. TJ for an excellent draft pick and the correct game selection.
Excellent.
Well done.
Wow.
If you look at everything else they put out last year, it's kind of like
yeah. Did they put out a variant of Uno?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay.
Your final two picks, Asif.
That's my final two picks. Oh man. This is still the draft time. Okay. What a weird group that remains. I'm gonna say THQ Nordic. And I don't fucking know what game. Wait. Nope. I don't know. Was there some sort of a... Yeah, I have no idea. THQ Nordic's my answer, though. Oh, wait, no. The Warhammer game. Space Marine 2.
Oh, my God.
Very good.
5 points to Asif for his draft of THQ Nordic. 0 additional points. Of course, the top performer last year was Spellforce Conquest of EO. Demon Scourge.
What? Okay. How many points did I get for THQ? 5? Damn. Okay, I have another pick.
You have another pick.
This is the last pick.
There's some meaty options on the board, folks.
Meaty options on the board?
Oh, yeah.
What? I already drafted EA. Oh. I'm gonna say Focus Entertainment and Farming Simulator 25.
Oh, funny.
An excellent draft. Focus Entertainment is 5th on our list, netting you 33 points. And ironically, their top performer was Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
I hate you so much. Okay, that's awesome, though. Steal the draft right there.
That was
last pick.
Well done.
I always confuse those European publishers, man, like THQ, and all of them used to be under, weren't they all part of that Embracer group?
I think so.
No, they're not. Anyway.
TJ, I reiterate to you, there are some meaty options on the board. Your final pick, please.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, there's 3 that I could still pick here.
Sony's definitely off the board.
Yeah, John drafted Sony, and he picked Astrobot correctly.
I am going to go with, based on what I know about their output, I'm going to go with Aksys Games.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't even begin to guess at what they put out last year that was really good. Trying to think of anything. I can't think of anything. I'll just go
some side-scrolling game, probably.
I'll just go with Aksys Games.
Mm-hmm.
Aksys Games is 3rd on our list.
What?
35 points to TJ. Their top performer was a visual novel sequel called Deathmark 2, Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2.
Couldn't have ever guessed that, but I knew that they have a big output of games that people really like when they play them.
Right. Great pick. Nicely done. John.
Yeah, well, okay.
Your final pick.
Final pick. THQ Nordic is taken off, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Konami.
Taken.
Also,
Konami's taken. Oh, my bad.
TJ, I think. Okay. Konami.
Should have guessed the right number between 1 and 10, Joe. This is my pick of 10, really biting me in the
Yeah.
I went all or nothing on that one.
I went 3.
You went 3? I was going to go 1. I'm going to just go with, let's go back to where I started, or where I got confused. Secret mode. And I don't feel confident picking a game.
9 points, John, for Secret Mode. Their
what was
top
the
performer.
big one that was like left? Are you going to tell us like what was?
Yeah.
What are some of the gems that we missed?
So Secret Mode's top game was Lottle Knot, which I had never heard of.
That came out in 23.
It must have been a port.
Yeah,
must have
I'm
been.
going to print out another 2-minute report.
They released Death Sprint 66, which I believe was featured at E4 last year. But
the last place on this list was a publisher called Fulcrum, which I had never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Their best game, Forgive Me Father 2.
Mm-hmm.
The top, let's see, you all got, and I didn't give the winner yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
The top publishers are Sega, Capcom, Aksys, Sony, Focus, and then the 6th slot goes to Gamera.
Mm-hmm.
The Shogun Showdown, which is a bit of an indie darling. That's their top performer. Then Square Enix, followed by Raw Fury. I was sure one of you would take that. Raw Fury,
Yeah.
A top performer. Their top game, Snufkin. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see.
I forgot about that.
There you go.
Raw Fury,
Microsoft.
very consistent publisher.
Yes, for sure. After Raw Fury, Microsoft, which Asif, you picked. Annapurna was after that. Went to
Can
John.
we just stop there for a second?
Yeah.
Raw Fury
Yeah.
was above $3 trillion company Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing it out there. Good on Raw Fury.
I did.
I will say
Microsoft, whose top outing was a port, also.
I will say also, you would be shocked at how many people love Snufkin.
I'm so happy to hear that. What a great name for a game.
It's like the Sesame Street of Norway.
Wow. That makes this subtitle make more sense. Melody of Moomin Valley.
Yep.
Yes. No one picked Kepler Interactive. Cat Quest 3, their top performer. Plug-in Digital was not taken. Mind Cop, their top
No one took
performer.
PlayOn either.
No one took PlayOn. System Shock, I guess that's the reboot or the remake.
Yeah.
Rather.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. NIS, a little bit mid-list. Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak was last year. Let's see. Anything else? Maximum Entertainment, Wild Bastards, came out last year.
I know the only reason I know Maximum Entertainment is because they have a game called Maximum Football that they've been working on for a while, but it's in early access.
Great name.
Yeah. It used to be Doug Flutie's Maximum Football.
Oh, that's an even better name. Are you ready for the results?
Yeah. Yes.
The results are in. The ticker just spewed them out to me. In third place, the Benjamin Bears with 133 points.
Did it.
The Bears.
In second place, Club Denzer, 156 points. Coming in first place with 171 points.
Wow.
Conclave.
Conclave. I thought we were Team Divix. Either way,
I forgot.
Congratulations to the team.
Conclave is very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like Conclave. It's actually funny.
Excellent.
It's a new nickname. Yeah, that's my new publishing company, I guess.
That's
yeah,
good.
awesome. What a great year for video games.
Congrats on your victory.
Another one over TJ
I know.
Wow.
after his reign of terror.
How close were the final scores there?
Not very. Asif had 171.
Yeah,
TJ
he got
had
some good
156.
30-pointers.
Then again, TJ, you got second and third draft
Biggest
picks.
publisher. Yeah.
But you were weighed down by the likes of Atari and Bandai Namco. So, yes, well played. We're running long, so let's move on. Thanks for playing.
Nice. Yeah.
All right.
Great
GGs.
game. I look forward to the final 2-minute report when Adam Silver gets that up the door tomorrow.
Controversial.
So yeah, we'll be right back with story time, so stay tuned. Welcome to Storytime. Let's dive into the latest stories from the past week. We are running long, and I'm going to be extra fast. So if you want to talk about something, you gotta stop me. David posted an excerpt. David Craddock posted an excerpt from I believe it was a story that was included with the collector's edition of Catacomb 3D last year that was released by Romero Games. David actually works with Romero Games, writing for them, and I think he might even be, I don't know, he's working on stuff over at Romero Games. So this was an excerpt that he posted to Shack News talking about the making of Catacomb 3D. This is like the precursor to Wolfenstein in a lot of ways, but it was also them trying to make like a D&D game in first person back in the early 90s. I don't know, wild. So you see a lot of like the article's cool because it features like drawings from Adrian Carmack and Tom Hall and design docs from Carmack and John Romero. So give that a check, give that a read on the front page of Shack News today. On to Previewza, which is a preview palooza from your friends at Shack News. FUMES plays like the car combat adventure I never knew I wanted, says Josh Broadwell. This is basically like an open world looking Twisted Metal, which I am here for.
That looks very fun.
This is one of those Next Fest games, so there was a demo. You can't play it anymore. Hopefully they get another Next Fest demo. We got some Sims content, businesses and hobbies. Was that the one? No, we didn't. We mentioned something else.
Something else.
But here's another one. Like The Sims 4 will never end. It's just gonna keep updating with stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at it. It's cool. Keep adding cool things. I did see like you can run like a tattoo parlor in this, and like you can alter what businesses you're running, and you have to factor in like they shoved a business sim into the Sims basically. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Warframe Techrot Encore. Lucas White previewed it for us. He said a rock and roll defense mission. This is like the next step after Warframe 1999 came out. It also introduces the 60th character in Warframe, Temple. So I don't know how to explain Warframe in 2025. There's motorcycles now. It's in the 90s. I don't know. The music's been outstanding for this new era that they've been doing. But yeah, shout out to Warframe and Digital Extremes. And then we had Josh Broadwell preview this game Curiosity for us. Do you guys know Grand Pooh Bear at all? He's a YouTuber, speedrunner.
Yeah.
This is his first game. He's actually working on this.
Wow.
He's part of the studio. An interesting thing that he talked about, I was watching one of his streams. So many times when you're programming a platformer, the character in the engine has 2 feet. So they actually had to iterate on the whole 4 feet platforming. Apparently it's something the game Stray didn't really do, because Stray was very much kind of on rails, whereas this is like a real platformer made by speed running platform experts. So yeah, there was a Curiosity demo out there.
That's cool.
I mean, we love kitty cat games, so it's cool to see a challenging platformer with an animal. But yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff at the Next Fest. I think it's cool how when you log into Steam during a Next Fest, it curates recommendations for you based on your wish lists and games that you own. So I honestly, in a time where discoverability is so tough on a lot of these storefronts for video games, I think Next Fest is kind of showing the way of how to promote lesser known games or how to get people to discover things better. And so props to Valve and Steam for doing that, the work that they put into that and everything.
Yeah.
On to Reviewza. Storytime Reviewza, which is a reviews palooza by Shack News. TJ has talked about Split Fiction already, gave it a 9 out of 10, really liked it, but you have to have friends. I do want to shout out the alliteration in TJ's headline. Split Fiction review, friendship forming fractured fiction. That's solid.
Nice.
I was really happy with that one.
That's 4 Fs. So, and a 9 out of 10. David Craddock reviewed WWE 2K25 for us, called it the Island of Relevancy. I'd say that the biggest things coming to these serialized annual sports games, they can get a little whatever samey. And I think John, Joe, and I know that all too well with the NBA 2K careers that we've had.
Uh-huh.
But WWE 2K has really transformed itself from god-awful garbage in 2022 to now like a very serviceable game. And the big addition to this one is this, they call it showcase mode. And if you have a chance, you should check out our gameplay on YouTube of it. There's a Paul Heyman, the wise man, he's part of the bloodline. He's Roman Reigns' consigliere right now, but he's been present in wrestling for decades. He narrates the story of the first time The Rock won the Intercontinental Championship over Triple H. So this is in the early 90s or whatever, or in the mid 90s. But you basically have him tell you the story. WWE puts all this awesome footage there to really make it like feel like a documentary, and then you play the match. And it kind of reminds me, didn't they do something like this with Kobe in 2K or Jordan?
That sounds familiar, but I didn't do it.
I think
I
they
didn't.
did Jordan, like moments
It was Jordan.
from Jordan's career.
So it's like that, John, but with more production, I would say, like a lot more video. Like WWE is killing it right now, kind of across the board, with their Netflix deal, with their premium live events. They're doing this stuff over in Saudi Arabia where they're getting paid rap video money. A lot of positives in this review. David mentioned the presentation is outstanding. Solid gameplay systems. It's visually stunning. The showcase mode's really cool. It's the largest roster ever, I think, in a WWE game. So you got a lot of the old school people there. If you want to just put together the Nation of Domination and beat the shit out of Hulk Hogan, you can. And then stop me if you've heard this before. Any mode requiring virtual currency could become expensive. Does that sound like any other game you've played, Joe? Like every NBA 2K game for the last 10 years?
It's a plague. Yeah.
I hate it. And then, and this is something I think is just true in general. It's why I haven't really found myself buying these games every year. It could be overly familiar to anyone who's kept up with this franchise over the past few years. So I would agree with what David said there. But yeah, if you're someone who's like a WWE fanatic and you want to see like the latest entrances for your characters and the latest cosmetics and the final boss and like all these things that have become really popular, this is going to be a good one. And then if you're a Bloodline fan, like if you're a Roman Reigns fan or a fan of The Rock or the Usos, this is going to be a really good really good game for you because the Bloodline showcase is really cool. The island is definitely something like they're trying to make like the neighborhood in 2K, in NBA 2K. So I'm not sure if that's great. But yeah, David did say, I worry that continuations of this mode could mean WWE 2K soon sharing too much in common with NBA 2K's egregious microtransactions. Amen, David.
Yeah.
8 out of 10, though. Wanted to spend some time talking about that game, though, because I'd say it's one of the biggest releases so far this year. And WWE's on fire right now. From what I've heard, Joe Hendry is not in the game. And anyone who knows wrestling knows that this means Joe Hendry is going to show up on Shack Together and tell us why he's not in the game. Because I said his name and he should.
Will it?
It's going to happen. You heard me, Joe Hendry. I will make a vertical video out of this just to get Joe Hendry's attention. But Hendry fans, I don't even know if we have a title yet. Like, we're not the Hulkamaniacs or the Hendry Maniacs, but whatever we are, we demand Joe Hendry be in everything. We reviewed Slime Heroes at Shack News. Give it a 7 out of 10. This is like a 3D platformy adventure game where you are a little ball of slime.
Guess Square Enix doesn't own that shape.
No, the little ball, the little blue ball in Dragon Quest. No.
Yeah, he's even blue, right?
Yeah. I think there's a green version and an orange one, but yeah.
Right.
Utterly charming characters and world, engaging bosses, loads of accessibility options. We love to hear that. Optional dungeons are a treat. The cons, though: mountain of technical issues, especially in co-op. Traversal in some areas isn't great, especially when you die from a single mistake, and some blurry textures can take away from the art design. It does feel kind of like washed out in these screenshots. It's not like the most high fidelity game, but this is a smaller studio that made it. 7 out of 10. Will Borger reviewed that. Ozzy reviewed Nights in Tight Spaces. I think this is a sequel, kind of, because wasn't the first game called Fights in Tight Spaces, TJ, or something?
That is right. Yep.
So it's that equation or that gameplay model, but expanded. It's kind of a card-based tactics style game, Joe. Like, I don't know if you would hate this or like this.
I've looked at this before. Yeah, I don't know what to think.
I would be curious.
Card deck battler where you basically use the cards to do John Woo fighting.
Yeah.
The art is unbelievably good, though. That's so good looking.
Yes. I was like, I think you might like this game. But I'm not sure if the gameplay. You should watch some of our gameplay on YouTube before you decide. But
I should. Raw Fury coming in hot.
There you go. Just another, like, they're very consistent over there. Like, I think that game really showed, like, some studios don't have to put out 10 out of 10s once a year. They can just put out 8 8s and end up having a great year, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, strong battle. Ozzy did enjoy the card battling formula. He liked the multiple classes. He did mention that the art style is very nice and easy on the eyes. Hundreds of cards that you can unlock. Daily challenge runs will get you coming back. The cons are the camera's kind of weird. The story's repetitive after multiple runs. That's going to be an issue with any kind of game like this.
Right.
And I'd say this is probably the worst thing I saw in his review. You can't abandon a run. So you have to actively, like, lose. So that's not great. Got an 8 out of 10. And then, what year is it, guys? We reviewed Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, it's 1992.
And yeah, Lucas asked the question, where in the world are we going next? Got an 8 out of 10. It's a perfectly competent, like, crime-solving game, but I don't think it doesn't feel like the original. Not that anyone should want the original, like, because was
what I feel is like the most important question for this, and that is, where is Rockapella? I don't see Rockapella anywhere in this review, and I'm concerned that they're not involved.
There was that game a few years ago, The Big Heist or whatever, that they did the song for that. But yeah, it does seem like a huge miss that Rockapella is not involved in this. But once again, I don't know if this is, like, are we just trying to reboot this franchise entirely for young people? Because, like, I don't think anyone in that like Fortnite Roblox demo, I don't know if any of them know who Carmen Sandiego was or is or why they should care. This seems like maybe your parents will buy it for you because they remember the game. But
yeah, but like, I'm not going to, and like, it would be for, I don't know, like, yeah, I'm not seeing the nostalgia does not come through from this, I guess is what I mean.
He did say it's authentic to the original games. It's got good writing and humor, and it does have an almanac that you can build that's probably a little bit educational, and there's, like, some travel puzzles. So, like, I do think that there are elements of this that are like the original, because those were supposed to be educational games too. He did say that this is the part that I got worried about. The game loop is repetitive. Identifying suspects is too simple and easy, and the mini games don't add much. They're just kind of in the way. So it's like, it's a competent crime solving game, but it's definitely not difficult. You know, you're not talking about an MEO game here. You're talking about it's definitely for kids. So yeah, that got a 8 out of 10 from Lucas. That's reviews. My God, lots of games coming out, and even more coming down the road. On to news, a news palooza coined by Shaq News. Let's get to the biggest news of the week. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 announced, and it's coming out in July, and I'm reviewing it. Love it.
Hell yeah.
That is my jam. Everything I saw there looks awesome. You should watch our reaction video. It's on YouTube. Denny and I kind of broke down how we felt about it. I did notice in the trailer, it was heavy on the level 3, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 levels. They did say they're adding new levels, new skaters, and new music to the soundtrack. So I don't know. Any here have fond memories of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or 4?
Asif, I have a brief story for you.
Okay.
Because you brought up your leaderboard rankings on Tony Hawk 3. I was on leaderboard rankings for Tony Hawk 3.
Wow.
Perhaps we were duking it out 20 years ago while I was in my parents' basement. We didn't even know.
It's possible. I don't know if I really went on the web with my records, though. Just mainly on my card.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in college, and yeah, it was a different time.
Great game.
I love this game. This is my favorite Tony Hawk game. When I'm saying that, I mean 3. I always said, just give us an equals 3 DLC, because we already had 1 plus 2. I was like, 1 plus 2 equals 3, right?
That's good. Mm-hmm.
We could have done that. That would have been a DLC. Would have been A-okay with it. I don't really like 4. It's fine.
Yeah. That's when the series started to slip.
It began to slip, and then we got Underground, and I was like, eh. And then Underground 2, and I was like, meh. And then American Wasteland, I was out. Because like once I was driving a tractor around or like a lawnmower, I'm like, what even is this game anymore? It's like they tried to make it like GTA because they saw that open world, and they're like, uh-oh. But it was like, no, just make a good game. Mm-hmm. And then, we don't talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Anyway, I'm very excited for this. It looks great. I loved Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 plus 2. So I think Iron Galaxy is very competent and will probably make a great game. So
yeah, for sure.
I can't even name a single level on Tony Hawk 4, but Cruise Ship from Tony Hawk 3 is, I think, one of the best Tony Hawk levels of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise Ship is good.
And it looks great. And Airport looked good. They gave us a quick glimpse of Canada. I love it. I love every level in that game, and I cannot wait. It's got me so excited. I may actually set up my GameCube, guys. I may like set up the old GameCube and start playing again. Maybe even stream it or something. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should go back to 1 plus 2. I don't know. We'll see. On to more news. Neil Druckmann says, don't bet on there being more Last of Us. And I say, good.
Huh.
Leave it where it is. I'm not saying I don't like the games. I'm saying I think that last one ended, Yeah. Let's just leave it there. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just leave it there.
Great ending.
Go do that weird Porsche space game, whatever the hell you guys are doing.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
That one.
Did you have trouble remembering the title, Asif?
No, I remembered all the brands they were showing me.
Right. What do you mean? Are you saying that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet doesn't roll off the tongue and stay with you forever?
It doesn't. It really doesn't. We got another beat 'em up coming from Dotemu. Absolum, with Guard Crush and Super Monks making the game, right?
Yes.
This looks great. We like side-scrolling games from Dotemu, and we like brawlers from Dotemu. So let's do more.
Guard Crush and Dotemu, 2 of the developers behind Streets of Rage 4, and worth mentioning, Lizard Cube, another one of the developers, is working on the new Shinobi game. So that team continues to stay winning.
Hell yeah! Speaking of winning, Capcom. Monster Hunter Wilds sold 8 million units in 3 days, despite all the best efforts of the idiots on Twitter claiming it would be woke and fail because of it. 8 million doesn't sound too woke to go broke. 8 million sounds like a lot of units and a lot of people who don't give a fuck what you tweet about. Anyway, moving on. You want to hear about another thing that's just printing money? I think I said this when it came out too, TJ. Pokemon TCG Pocket has reached 100 million downloads worldwide. And it's just another freaking money printer. It's just, as many times as Nintendo has failed on mobile, Pokemon's kind of crushing it over there.
Yeah.
With Unite, with Go. I know Go has had its ups and downs, but they're still there. And now TCG Pocket also killing it. On to Industruza, which is Industry News Palooza brought to you by Shacknewza. We're talking on this platform right now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Discord is in discussions with bankers about an IPO that would go this year. So I remember a few years ago, there was this rumor that Microsoft was trying to buy Discord, and everyone was like, no, please, God, no. And they didn't. But this seems like the investors in Discord, the private investors, they need a way to realize their money, right? So IPO makes all the sense in the world. I'm curious about, when a company files for an IPO, they give you some of their metrics. So we're going to find out how many daily users or monthly users there are, what the actual financial underpinnings of the platform look like. So that's going to be interesting to see, A, are they profitable? B, what are their margins? C, where do they actually make their money from? Is it all from Nitro or I'm just kind of curious. How much of this, how much are they, and this is the question I have for every internet company. How much of the data that I'm putting on this platform are you selling to other people? Right?
Sure.
I don't know. I saw TeamSpeak was throwing shade. I saw other people were like, oh, Discord's going to be bad. It's like, oh, okay. mean, there's a lot of publicly traded companies out there. And then let's bundle these together. Does anyone here remember Acclaim?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's back.
that logo
We
is
have,
iconic.
we have former friends, current friends who were former Acclaim people back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we knew people over there at Iguana. Like all many moons ago, but like over 20 years ago in some cases. But yeah, Acclaim is coming back as a publisher. And then just to make things even weirder, Digg. Remember Digg, John? Digg's coming back.
DIGG?
Yes.
So DIGG, I actually still go to that website, and then I saw that they have like some app coming out. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's interesting.
So what I found interesting about this is that the founder, Kevin Rose, and co-founder of Reddit, Alex Ohanian, known Drake hater, are joining forces here. And they think that they're going to be able to bring some form of AI to the platform that will make it revolutionary. We'll see.
Huh.
Digg famously died because they had one of the worst website redesigns maybe of all time. I don't know if you remember that, John, but it was like the internet melted down that day.
Yeah,
That rings a bell,
it was hot for a time, and then it stopped.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it used to be like dig it, right? It would be like tweeting it. There was a time where Digg was actually a better source of information than Reddit and other places. But it's interesting. Here's my take, though, John. You have two people from Internet 1.0, right? And their idea in 2025 is to build a website again. I think that's kind of interesting. These guys are billionaires or 100 millionaires in some cases. Why are they doing
that? There's not a super big correlation between being a billionaire and being, interesting or intelligent. Maybe, I don't know, man. Like they're successful people. That's very good. Good for them. But who knows? Who knows why people do what they're doing?
I'm just saying that I don't think these guys want to lose money. Like
I don't know anymore, man. Like
some of them might.
Anybody cares. I really think like some of these people just they don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. But that said, I'm actually curious. When I went to Digg.com yesterday or the day before, I saw that there's a little preview coming, so we should see.
Yeah, I find it interesting that two people that exited the web publishing industry have decided to return to it in 2025. I just think there's something happening here. It's not just Digg that I'm talking about. I just think there's a chance that the internet might just not disappear. Like there might be an internet in the future, and Digg will be part of it. Shack News welcomes back Digg, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
I do want to say one thing on the Acclaim story. Did you see who's on the advisory board for that?
Yeah.
So that's a detail that I don't think can go unsaid. It's Jeff Jarrett. The top dog of TNA for years, the guy that breaks guitars over people's faces. He's on the advisory board for Acclaim for some reason.
I don't understand. I didn't mean to leave that off. That is definitely one of those. Oh, okay. The whole story just felt like that. I was like, oh, okay. You guys want to bring back Acclaim? Like both of these stories next to each other. Digg's back and Acclaim's back, and like what's next? Bubble tape? Like what the fuck? What are we doing? Anyway, I actually like bubble tape.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys do.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Big League Chew. Is that like not allowed anymore?
I see it. My nephews I've seen have Big League Chew.
Wow. Anyway, what a walk down memory lane. Thanks, Digg. And then Visions of Mana co-director opens up studio Sasanqua following the NetEase fallout. So we're gonna start to see this. Japanese studios or foreign studios that are being shut down because NetEase is divesting, they're just spinning up companies in their locales. So that's good. Because some of these companies are not losing money. NetEase has made a decision that they are leaving certain geographies. But it's good to hear that, Visions of Mana is a good game. And hopefully they can keep making cool stuff. Oh my God, guys, we did it. See you in the story time. We do have... we've got a few questions and comments from the Shack News community, which you can join by heading over to shacknews.com/chatty and reading my threads about the top 5 Duran Duran tracks of all time. or by emailing us at tj.denzer@shacknews.com. We have one mention from Mamu over there at the Haas Mamu Corner. He said, we're the best foodie podcast. That is so not true.
Right. Yeah, not true, but we appreciate that.
We are not foodies at all. We're sitting here talking about Baja Blast and fried chicken and no, we are not foodies at all. Look, I like fine dining, but I also like Swenson's, you know?
Swenson's is good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, they made the Oreo milkshake permanent over there. They're like, this is so good, we can't leave this for a limited time. This is all year round now. So praise the wizards over there. Oh yeah, they do have, sorry, right before we leave, of course I came up with the Swenson's reference. They have a new burger that they dropped. I believe it's a limited time thing. It's called the Mac Cheesy Burger. It's a 1/4 pounder with bacon, velvety mac and cheese, buffalo sauce, and jalapeno slices.
Man, I hate myself because like that sounds good, and like I shouldn't be eating that.
This is just look at it.
Yeah, I am.
I agree. None of us we're maybe TJ could get away with it still. He's young enough, but like us olds, no.
Wait, the jalapeno slices are fried too?
Oh yeah.
That
up
doesn't
until
need to be
like Shack News, up until 2019 at the Shack News Awards, I had no reason to be in Ohio. Now I know about Swenson's because I've had it once, and that's like the main reason I want to go back.
Wow.
But yeah, we have just I saw Ozzy reacted to it in the Discord. Ozzy's just watching the Discord and like trying to figure out what on earth we possibly could be talking about. But yeah, based on the fact that Joe is drooling over this hamburger, we are not a foodie podcast.
Yeah,
like,
no, I would never claim something like that for myself.
No, I just want to make that abundantly clear. We appreciate the comment. We are more of a junk food, fast food, gamer food, like gamer fuel, right? I think that's what we talk about here.
That's what we talk about. John and I got nice salads together yesterday.
Look,
we did. It was nice burrito bowls with delicious salsa, actually really beautifully made. I thought it was very good.
Look, if you guys ever come back to Canton, there's this place called Big Ass Salad here. I fuck with Big Ass Salad every day. Like that's my shit. And
sounds good.
They have a create your own salad. They call it the Smart Ass. So I do a Smart Ass, but I do a half ass. You can do a full ass or a half ass there.
Isn't that's the you know the meme going around now, like the millennial food chain that like makes you say something uncomfortable when you order, like the have you seen those memes? Yeah.
Yes, that's
I've always had
definitely
anxiety.
this place.
I've always had anxiety about that kind of thing. I don't want to order a half-ass salad or whatever.
Dude, they lean into the whole donkey part of it though. Like you walk in there and it's just donkeys everywhere. They're like a donkey calendar.
That makes me feel better.
What? Have you not read the Bible? They call it an ass all over the Bible.
No, I know it's it refers to a donkey. I just mean I still have to say it out loud.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's hip with the kids because of it or something.
That's
anyway,
probably true.
Salad's good, especially when you're over 40
or under 40.
I don't know how old you are yet, Joe, but like I'm telling you, once you hit 40, it's like get to know salad real well, or else.
I'm 36 and trying to become intimate as we speak.
Yeah, look, you got 4 years until it's like law. It's not even an option.
Right.
So it's good that you're starting early. Is all I'm getting at. But I love a good salad. I'll never hate on that. But yeah, I think that's part of it though. All of us are like the three regulars here. We're always like looking at these foods, but it's not like we're like, hey, I didn't say, hey, I ate this mac and cheesy burger. I haven't had a burger in 13 years. So yeah. Anyway,
we can dream.
Yeah, a man can dream. That's gonna do it for today's show. My God, that was long. Sorry about that, guys.
It was the 12-minute salad coda. Like, okay, come on.
That wasn't It was probably the draft.
It was probably the draft, my fault.
And also my complaints filed already with New York and Secaucus.
Yeah, the final 2-minute report. Like all these things add up, basically.
It does.
It's like it's why when you go to Japan and you see those trains running on time that you're like, God damn, that's what I want to be. I want to be the Shinkansen of podcasts, and right now I'm definitely the railway.
We're the Amtrak. We're the Amtrak between Philly and Baltimore. We're the
Long Island Railroad.
Yeah, I was looking. It takes like 12 and a half hours to take a train from Cleveland to New York. And I'm like,
okay, all right. We're Shinkansen now. Let's do it.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be 2 hours or an hour. Anyway, we're going Shinkansen from here on out. So yeah, thanks to everyone who listened. If you made it this far into the podcast, you like what we're doing, so go subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like us on all the social platforms, share us, review us. All those things help. And yeah, subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. Tune in every Friday for more Shack Together. TJ, thank you for joining us in the Shack News Extended Podcast universe, or the Sifu, as the kids call it, right, Joe? Still?
Yep.
Sweet. Let's do it. Let's wave at the camera, say bye-bye. And
thanks, TJ. Thanks, John. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Curse you, F099.
Thanks, Asif. Thanks, Joe.
Peace.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack Together is a Shack News production.
Shack News is a multimedia company consisting of a variety of entertainment properties, including ShackNews.com, video game and cutting-edge technology coverage with evergreen video, guide, and long-read content, providing readers and viewers with the latest reviews, previews, interviews, and news. Shack News content is readable and viewable at ShackNews.com, Facebook, YouTube at Shack News Interviews, and Shack News VODs, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Shack News Media, Twitch, and more. But that's not all. You can play Bubbletron, our first video game. Combine 3 ideas, hit the market, and get your money hat. Bubbletron is a daily game in the style of Wordle, where players can launch a company and see its valuation instantly. Hit that high score and brag to your friends. Visit Bubbletron.com to play. There is no download required, no signups required. But if you are into app downloads, we have the cutest one on the planet. It's called Shack Pets, the ultimate battle for cuteness. Swipe your pets to victory on iOS and Android in this Tinder-like app for pets. Shack News is proud to present a variety of micro products, all available for free at shacknews.com. Cortex is a publishing platform available to all of our users. Shouts is a Twitter replacement in a time where Twitter really needs replacing. And Reader, an RSS reader that won't get shut down by Google anytime soon. You can import YouTube, subreddits, all sorts of cool stuff, even podcast feeds. And lastly, all of our products are completely free to use and play, so if you're a fan of what we're doing and want to support the Shack News ecosystem, head over to shacknews.com/Mercury. Mercury offers subscribers access to exclusive Shack News swag like hoodies and VIP access to our long reads in downloadable format. It's a great way to support us. There's different tiers, and you get a lightning bolt next to your name.